What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. It's Saturday, I hope you all are having a great weekend. And today I wanted to make a quite unusual election prediction, putting Senator Pat Toomey up against Senator Joe Manchin. Now if you don't know who Pat Toomey is, he is a Republican senator from Pennsylvania. He voted to impeach Trump. He was a Tea Party favorite when he was first elected in 2010. Joe Manchin, on the other hand, is the Democratic senator from West Virginia, a heavily Republican state. And he is sort of considered the most conservative Democrat in the Senate, maybe in Congress totally, especially now since Colin Peterson has been voted out. I'm going to pit these two guys against each other, and the map is going to look very different from what we're used to, because Joe Manchin is from West Virginia, it's coal country, it's Union territory. Pat Toomey is definitely someone who is doing better in the suburbs than, for example, Trump. So it's going to be a different map. So let's get to it. First, I'm going to fill in the safe red states. For Toomey, that is Montana, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, Nebraska second, I think would be leaning against Toomey. And this is, by the way, the 2016 election. So trends, think about the trends. We are in 2016 now. I still think that Texas would go to Toomey by a likely margin. It's mainly in the South and in the industrial Midwest that we can see a Manchin change and realignment. Yeah. Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina. I think Indiana would go likely to Toomey. He would also win Alaska. Now for Manchin, we have the West Coast, which would go to him. He would have won the state of Illinois, and he would have stayed strong on the East Coast, winning those states. And I also think that the 2nd District of Maine would go to Joe Manchin in this scenario. So now we are seeing that most of the South is still a toss-up category, and we're going to move further. Also, Hawaii is safe Democratic. The state of New Mexico, I still think will go to the Democrat Joe Manchin. And I think that states that are known for their suburban sprawl and rejection of Trump would be much more friendly to someone like Pat Toomey, and therefore Arizona and Georgia are going to go to Toomey. Also New York is going for Manchin. Manchin will also do very well in the upper Midwest, winning Minnesota, Wisconsin and Michigan, all with likely margins. And I believe we would win the state of Iowa, because that is his territory. When it comes to Manchin's home state of West Virginia, I actually think that he would win it. Simply because they are flexible voters. They are known for splitting their tickets when it comes to voting for Trump for president. Manchin for Senate, he would win that, I think, by a likely margin. I know it's a bit controversial to say that, but I think that people there would be happy enough to have a West Virginia president, and they would vote for Manchin. When it comes to the state of Virginia, that's the different scenario. Toomey would do better in the suburbs, but he would not do as well in the western parts of the state, the Appalachian part. In the end, I think Manchin would actually win it by a lean margin, between 2 and 5 points. It would go to Manchin, but not by a very big margin. North Carolina is somewhat more Republican, and I think it would go to Toomey by about the same margin as Virginia is going for Manchin. Going to the state of New Hampshire, I think that Toomey would have won the state of New Hampshire. It is a sort of right-wing suburban Republican state. They had the Tea Party candidate Kelly Ayotte, who was elected alongside Toomey in 2010. She lost re-election in 2016. I think that he would win in the state of New Hampshire. Also, he's not from too far away. And now let's go to the inner South. Louisiana is not a particular difficult one. I think Manchin would do better than most Democrats in Louisiana. I will give it to Toomey by a likely margin. Same thing with Arkansas. Many of these states are simply too conservative, too right-wing to go to a Democrat, and I think that Tennessee also would go to Toomey by a likely margin. Now Missouri is a difficult one because it almost went to Obama, but I'm going to give it to Toomey. I don't think that Manchin would do well enough, because much of what he offers, Toomey will also offer. So when it comes to jobs, when it comes to the rural, industrial, blue-collar voters, Toomey might not do as well as Trump because he's running against Manchin, but he will still do enough to win a state like Missouri and the state of Kentucky. And now we see how the map is starting to shape up. Toomey, I believe, would win his home state of Pennsylvania. Why? Well, the western parts are coal country. Yes, Manchin would do better there, but it is Toomey's home state. He would do very well in the suburbs. He was a congressman, so his district would of course vote for him heavily. And when I'm into this, I think that New Jersey would be likely for Manchin, not safe. So Toomey would carry the state of Pennsylvania. I also believe that Toomey's strong record in this, Toomey's strength in the suburbs would help him in other places. Let's go, for example, to the state of Colorado. Colorado was a toss-up in 2016, though it went to Hillary Clinton by nearly 5 points. Now, Toomey would do better in the Denver suburbs than Trump, much better. Manchin would not do as well among minorities. He would not do as well among environmental groups. So I think that Toomey would narrowly carry the state of Colorado. Going to Nevada, Manchin would be very competitive, but I think the state of Nevada would also go to Toomey. And this, you can see it making sort of a map that looks much more like Bush v. Gore than Trump versus Clinton. Of course, the big exception is the state of Virginia, as well as the state of Pennsylvania. And now we have a good classic election where the election comes down to the states of Ohio and Florida. Ohio, many blue-collar voters in the Ohio Valley are going to support Manchin, but areas like Cincinnati and Columbus are going to support Toomey. And that's why it is a big toss-up in this election. Florida, 29 electoral votes. This could be a 269-269 tie if you look at it right now. For the sake of this argument, I'm going to say that Toomey wins the state of Florida. Narrowly. Toomey wins Florida because it's 2016, it's a Republican strength year. We all know that they are tired of Obama, they want change, and Republicans control the Senate and the House, so people are inclined to vote. So people are motivated to get a united government and vote for the Republican. Going to the state of Ohio, no Republican has ever won the White House without Ohio. I think that it would narrowly go to Toomey. Manchin is a strong candidate, but in the end Trump won it by 8. Yes, much because of his Rust Belt appeal, but Toomey also have a very good record on jobs and the economy. So I think that he would be able to win the state of Ohio and win this election. So here you have it. The results are 287 for Pat Toomey, 251 for Joe Manchin. It would be a very tight election. The popular vote would be almost evenly split. So here you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.